Alright, I'm ready to go. I am ready to rock.
Well, a very good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to a game that may or may not go ahead. We're a bit up in the air. The referee is just coming out now to give a final pitch inspection before this game against Crawley Town is given the go-ahead. We've had two already. It's been raining fairly consistently over the last few hours, and there's one area of the pitch which the referee is heading to now in the penalty area to our right-hand side, which is a cause for concern. So, as you'll tell by the reaction to the fans when they hear the fact that there is a pitch inspection. Now, we've got to say that alongside me, just as he's about to tuck into a bit of food, Mr. Brown, how are you? Happy New Year, by the way.
Happy New Year
to everybody listening.
Yep, just about to add that. Yeah, Happy New Year to everybody. And yeah, had a good evening, if I'm honest. Yeah, very enjoyable evening. And woke up this morning and thought, right, better get some food in. Cup of coffee, get myself up to Crawley, and I knew, I've been in many times over the years, and this pitch has always been a bit easy to waterlog in terms of you have a couple of downpours and it gets very heavy very quickly. So I knew that there could be some sort of doubt today. It turns over quite easily when it's under pressure, and I think, oh geez, that ball didn't bounce
at all just now on that last. There's that little strip that the referee's in now. He's lifting the ball up in the air. That bounced. And then, but not very high, has to be said, considering where it bounces in other parts of the pitch. So there is a concern there. There's that strip of about 2 foot wide and about 20 foot, 30 foot long.
Yeah, I will say this, in their defence, this is a difficult call.
I can imagine.
It's not really something where you can look at the pitch and go, this is definitely off. Where they've done their warm-up and their fast feet down to away to our right near the corner flag, that has turned over incredibly in terms of, it's just muddy. And where the referee's bouncing the ball, it's running, it's got a little bounce, but we are very close to this being off. Very close. It is a tough call. We have one more downpour and it will be off.
And I think that's got to be in the referee's mind. The forecast is that it's going to carry on raining fairly consistently over the next hour or so.
Yeah.
But if we get a heavy downpour, then we'll be 10 minutes into the game and he might have to call it off anyway. So that's, I dare say, in his mindset.
I would say that that's probably the likeliest outcome, is that everybody's in the ground. They've served up all the food in the hospitality lounges, so they've done all they can as a home side. And for this to be called off now, for the fans, it'll be a bitter disappointment because they've spent a lot of money up to this point. But that's why I say it's a very difficult decision for the referee. And I think he'll give it every opportunity to be on.
Well, there's another area he's running to now, which is just inside the centre circle, and he's asking the ball to be air, and it's stopped in the water. It just about came through, and it stops there. Do you see that? Just outside the centre circle, there seems to be an area there also which is struggling to get the ball through. So, yeah, we're in the lap of the gods here, I think, as to which way this will go, and there's going to be a serious number of disappointed fans because I believe it's a sellout. Yeah.
And I was out here just in time to see Rob Elliott sort of talk to the referee, and I think it's fair to say that Rob was sort of facially suggesting, let's call it now.
Yeah, I guess with Charlton in the form they're in,
absolutely.
Crawley on the back of losing a 4-1 lead to get pegged back 4-4.
Yeah.
I imagine he'd be quite happy to have this delayed for a bit.
Yeah, and that would have been an emphatic way to bounce back after 3 straight losses since beating us, but they didn't, and they're under pressure. They're 21st, 1 point from 12.
But also the conditions are a leveller in that respect as well, potentially.
Oh, that's not even making it. That's a 15-yard pass that's not even making it across to the player that's waiting to receive. So I actually think, if you want the truth,
if you were a betting man,
I'd call it now. Yeah. I'd call it now. I think that with the forecast the way it is, that ball not even rolling 25 yards from one side to another, with that bounce in the middle of the 6-yard box we saw, which just didn't bounce at all.
Well, we're awaiting a decision, and what we'll do, I think we'll play on Sunday, obviously second place, Wickham came to the Valley, We're going to remind you what happened on that day, and while that's going on, while you're watching the highlights, hopefully we'll have a decision one way or the other, and when you come back out the highlights, we'll be able to tell you exactly, well, hopefully we'll be able to tell you exactly what's happening for the rest of the afternoon. In the meantime, enjoy the highlights. This is Charlton against Wycombe at the Valley on Sunday. So there we are. Those were the highlights of that victory over Wycombe on Sunday, and we'll chat about that in a second, hopefully, with Stevie Brown. But there is a huddle. I was hoping to give you some information. There is a huddle of officials and managers down to our left-hand side on the halfway line, which you might be able to see on your screens if you're watching. If you're just listening, that's what's happening. Looks to me, they're shaking hands. I have to say, it looks to me like the game may not be on. But we'll certainly, I don't want to preempt anything, but the signs aren't great, and I think there's a few shakes of the head. So I have a sneaking suspicion that we may not be here for much longer. But Stevie Brown, it was a pleasure for your company. even for just a short space of time, my friend.
Well, at least we haven't gone to Bolton or.
Well, yeah, there is that. But yeah, the signs. I've got to say, the body language didn't look great.
That's off. That's off, Tel. I mean, manager's called his players in. So I just see Rob Elliott whistle to his players in. He come.
Yeah, there's lots of signs which indicate that it's not going ahead from players as they walk off. Yeah, I'm sad to inform everybody that we were hoping for a decent game of football, any game of football, to be fair, here at Crawley Town, and it doesn't look like we're going to get one, I'm afraid. So we'll reconvene here on a Tuesday in the near future, I suspect. And the players, the Wycombe players are going over, excuse me, to their fans. To applaud them for, sneezing when you're in the most inopportune moment. The Wycombe players are going across to their fans, and Crawley, yeah, done it again. Going across to their fans at the Eden utility stand here at Crawley, and just applauding them for the effort. And as we said earlier, it was a sellout here in Crawley, and Charlton players are now doing the same. The far end as we look, the left hand side, and sadly that means I think that no action's going to take place here this afternoon. We'll judge what the protocols are, whether we continue to show highlights of because we had the Miles Leeburn post Wickham interview to bring you, but whether or not there's we might save that for another day. We'll save it for Saturday. So I think unless we hear otherwise, I think, ladies and gentlemen, we can conclude that there is nothing going to happen here at Crawley Town this afternoon. All the players are now off, and so I suspect, and watch this space. There will be an official announcement, I'm sure, at some point. We were expecting a tannoy announcement to be made, but even some of the fans now are drifting away. Charlton fans especially, just drifting around the back of the stand at least, maybe to grab a hot drink.
For the safety of the players, this
here we are.
afternoon's game has been called off.
The game has been called off, I can confirm. We've just had the tannoy announcement, so a happy New Year to you all. It's not the New Year start to the New Year we wanted, but out of our control, I'm afraid. So we will reconvene here at Crawley Town at some point in the near future on a Tuesday evening, I suspect. But for now, from myself, from Steve Brown and Greg Stubley here in Crawley, we bid you a fond farewell, and hopefully you'll join us again on Saturday when we're at home to Reading. And don't forget, if you can grab your pass for that Reading game, then please do so. Hopefully it won't be affected by the weather, and so if you can grab your passes, season pass if you want to, then please do so. And we'll meet again at the Valley on Saturday. But from all of us here in the meantime, a very good afternoon to you.